Hi, it's Doc Lucky, and welcome to another episode of Yo-Yo Talk. This is actually episode number 70, and technically, I am physically not here right now. I am flying back from France, so I couldn't do this show live, but it is live because Sean is here, he's filming, and yes, we are going to have our trivia contest at the end of the show, and that will be live. But I wanted to have the show. We've never missed our episode or our time, except for some technical difficulties that delayed some of the shows. But we're firmly committed to always being here for you on that first Thursday of each month at 9:30 p.m. So here we are. And so I was going to go over a few things that were interesting. One of the things, Ed Davidson and John Mishral have gotten together to create these Hall of Fame yo-yos, and you can see these right here, right now. These are yo-yos that are beautiful yo-yos, and one will be given to each of our Hall of Fame inductees this year. Hopefully they'll be at the national championships. If not, then we'll get them to them. But John Higbee, Bob Maloney, and Jennifer Baybrook, of course, were our 2022 National Hall of Fame inductees. And they'll also get their chenille patch and a very nice plaque, which I believe is still in the manufacturing process. So beautiful yo-yos here by Ed Davidson and John Mishral. So these are the Cajun Spinner yo-yos, and you can pick up other variety of Cajun Spinner yo-yos. They're all beautiful yo-yos to display, wooden yo-yos. And I have several. Obviously, we've shown some on the show in the past, so check those out. I did have some finds recently, and I'll show you a couple of these right now. Right before Duncan closed down, Wolf Schlee went and formed the Festival Yo-Yo Company, which then was the next year in 1966 was bought out by Union Wadding. This is a Union Wadding advertising yo-yo. It's also, associated with the Festival brand, and I think you kind of recognize that style from some of the puzzle, pinball type of yo-yos that Festival produced. So this was a yo-yo that actually advertised selling Union Wadding yo-yos. This is a very interesting yo-yo. It was an advertisement premium for Donuts cereal. It is a Duncan yo-yo, and it was released in 1983. You sent in 3 proof of purchase, and you got a Duncan Donuts cereal yo-yo. Very bad idea for a cereal. It was little powdered donut-shaped cereals. It didn't do very well, needless to say, which makes the yo-yo more collectible. But the interesting thing about this yo-yo is that you will notice it's the same shape, it's from the same mold as the Duncan Special yo-yo from the 80s, but the original Special yo-yo made by Flambeau in the early 70s was a different shape. So my question is, did they change the shape of the Special yo-yo because of this promotion, or did we already have a change in shape and they just adopted that shape for the cereal promotion? I think they did the cereal promotion and changed the mold, but maybe somebody wiser than me knows the answer to that. Now, nothing really special here, a Super Mario Brothers yo-yo. It's a flasher yo-yo. It was made in 2018, I believe. I love character yo-yos, so I had to pick that one up. And for those that love sports ball yo-yos, this is a basketball yo-yo of Chicago Bulls. So if you're a Bulls fan, this yo-yo would be perfect for you. I have duplicates of this. I will be bringing some to the National Yo-Yo Championship. So make sure you bring yo-yos with you when you come to Nationals so you can trade. And last but not least, a Bugs Life yo-yo. This was from a Pixar Disney movie in 1998. There's a series of 4 or 6 of these. I'm trying to collect the series, so I love those character yo-yos. And not only did I have these finds, which were mostly from eBay, I'll admit to that, did do a little bit of trading with Dano the Mano, and it came up with this yo-yo here. This is a Nina Foundry 100-year anniversary yo-yo. But the neat thing about this is it's a Duncan yo-yo. It has that date there, 1972, so that's a great thing when these are dated. But the really cool thing about this yo-yo is it's a hot stamp impressed seal that's gold. And you don't find those very often. Those are usually low run, they're advertising yo-yos. Here is another example of that type of seal. This one I already had in my collection. It's a Circus World seal, obviously from the early 70s as well. Again, beautiful imprint. I really like these type of seals. This is on a pastel butterfly, or sometimes called pop art butterfly. Now, Dano traded me the Nina one, and he has others, so check it out. He might want to trade one of those. And when I was talking about finds, every once in a while, I'll discover something in my own collection that I didn't know I even had. And what had happened is that Fox 35, our local news station here in Orlando, decided they wanted to do a little short story on the yo-yo in my yo-yo collection. And so they came out and did a live filming, and it was a lot of fun. But as we were going through yo-yos, he said, well, what's that little kind of square-shaped yo-yo? And I said, well, that's shaped like a trolley car. He says, well, let's show this and talk about it. So I'm looking at it, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I'd never read the inscription on it. And this yo-yo was from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was the trolley from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood yo-yo. And then that was funny because a while ago I was going through some paperwork, and lo and behold, I found a letter from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood to the Duncan Yo-Yo Company, which did not make that wooden yo-yo, by the way. And this was from an earlier episode where Mr. Rogers was playing with a Duncan yo-yo, and they wanted a clip from that scene. So anyway, it was neat to find this yo-yo and realize that it actually had a little bit of cool history in representing Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So sometimes you need to look at your yo-yos a little closer. So anyway, I mentioned I'm going to be flying. I'm flying back right now to the United States as we speak from France. Hopefully I picked up some good yo-yos there. But anyway, I wanted to take an opportunity to talk a little bit about the history of the yo-yo in France. It's very fascinating. And so Sean wrote that little clip there. So as I mentioned, I'm getting ready to go to France here very shortly, and I decided I was going to talk to everybody tonight about French yo-yos. And there is a lot of historical information available about French yo-yos, and it goes back a lot further than yo-yos in America. Now, of course, we didn't call yo-yos yo-yos when it comes to French. They were called émigrés or bandalores. So here's the interesting part about the French, and I think probably one of the earliest illustrations or paintings, as it would be this painting of Louis XVII. Now, Louis XVII happened to be the son of Louis XVI, obviously, and Marie Antoinette. And we know how that ended for his parents. But the background story here is we had the Reign of Terror, which lasted for about, 10 months or so. But thousands died in France. And a lot of these were the nobility, like Louis's the 17th mother, Marie Antoinette, and the king himself. And they all died, of course, to the guillotine. So the guillotine was supposedly a good death, as you say, as opposed to a bad death. That's why it was invented. And a lot of these folks were in the upper elite class, and these people loved to play the yo-yo. The yo-yo had just come over probably around 1790, and I'm going to say that this picture or painting of Louis XVII was probably around 1790, 1791. That's about how old he looks. He was born in 1785, so this would make him about 5, 6, 7 years old. So right before the Reign of Terror, the French Revolution. And there's a lot of documentation of the yo-yo being present during this time. The folks that were elite loved this as a game. I'm not exactly sure. It was just a pastime, but they didn't have Xbox. They didn't have these other things that they could entertain themselves with. So having the yo-yo go down and up on a string was apparently about the height of entertainment. Now, it was very fashionable for the women to play the yo-yos and also for the men too. And the reason it developed the name of les émigrés, or pardon my French because it's horrible, or les émigrés, is because a lot of the French nobility migrated out of France during the Reign of Terror, and they brought their yo-yos with them. Now, here are some examples of some of these early yo-yos, and I want to point out this one is a yo-yo made out of 2 coins. It's dated in I think the 1700s. It's a silver yo-yo, 1790s. It's a silver yo-yo. They probably made them cheaply this way by just attaching 2 coins together. But in this picture here, we have some yo-yos that were in a museum, and most of these yo-yos, the top 3 there, are wooden yo-yos, and when you move down to the lower left-hand side, those were made out of ivory. Now, I want to point out that one in the upper right-hand corner is a pressed wood yo-yo, and these were all from the 1790s, and this is a type of yo-yos that they play. And also I'll point out that the one in the bigger one, they don't have a string on it, is actually a ribbon. So a tricolored ribbon to be exact. And you'll also notice that they have the little handles on the end. They didn't necessarily hold them on the finger. They held them by these little wooden pegs. And they were not slipstring. They just basically went up and down. Now, I mentioned that pressed wood yo-yo in the upper right-hand corner there. I can't make out what the image is, but I did discuss pressed wood yo-yos not too long ago when we had this French anti-slavery yo-yo that was found in a museum here in the United States. And this is also from the period. So apparently that was a common way to make yo-yos, were make it out of pressed wood. And in this case of the anti-slavery yo-yo, it was actually a political statement. And there was another big craze in France. This happened in the early 30s. Now, this was right after Duncan and also the Cheerio yo-yo. And both of these did kind of appear in France. But here is a yo-yo, which I can't identify whether this is from the 1932 range, or could it possibly be a really early bandalore from the 1790s. But there was a lot of images and pictures depicting a yo-yo from the French during this 1930s time period. So it was another big mini craze in France during this time. And then, like the yo-yo, it kind of had its ups and downs. And we did see a little bit of a surge, just like when the yo-yo became prominent in the 50s and 60s in the United States. You see the yo-yo appearing in certain things. This poster from the French film Yo-Yo obviously depicted a yo-yo. And then we have certainly many modern French yo-yos as well. And I believe there are French Russell yo-yos. So the history of the yo-yo in France is a very long one, but I find it's very interesting, the story of how it started around the time of the French Revolution and some of these yo-yos are apparently still in existence in France today. I'm hoping I will go to a French museum that will have a yo-yo. That would make my trip. So give me some good luck wishes on that. So anyway, that's about all I have for tonight. Sean is going to run our trivia contest right now. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Sean Berg, and he will run you through the trivia contest. As we had shown you before, our good prize package for tonight. Hopefully you guys are all, or guys and gals are all successful in the trivia contest and pick up that very nice prize. So as I mentioned, I'm getting ready to go to France here very shortly, and I decided I was going to talk to everybody tonight about French yo-yos. And there is a lot of historical information available about French yo-yos, and it goes back a lot further than yo-yos in America. Now, of course, we didn't call yo-yos yo-yos when it comes to French. They were called émigrés or bandalores. So here's the interesting part about the French, and I think probably one of the earliest illustrations or paintings, as it would be this painting of Louis XVII. Now, Louis XVII happened to be the son of Louis XVI, obviously, and Marie Antoinette. And we know how that ended for his parents. But the background story here is we had the Reign of Terror, which lasted for about, 10 months or so. But thousands died in France. And a lot of these were the nobility, like Louis's the 17th mother, Marie Antoinette, and the king himself. And they all died, of course, to the guillotine. So the guillotine was supposedly a good death, as you say, as opposed to a bad death. That's why it was invented. And a lot of these folks were in the upper elite class, and these people loved to play the yo-yo. The yo-yo had just come over probably around 1790, and I'm going to say that this picture or painting of Louis XVII was probably around 1790, 1791. That's about how old he looks. He was born in 1785, so this would make him about 5, 6, 7 years old. So right before the Reign of Terror, the French Revolution. And there's a lot of documentation of the yo-yo being present during this time. The folks that were elite loved this as a game. I'm not exactly sure. It was just a pastime, but they didn't have Xbox. They didn't have these other things that they could entertain themselves with. So having the yo-yo go down and up on a string was apparently about the height of entertainment. Now, it was very fashionable for the women to play the yo-yos and also for the men too. And the reason it developed the name of les émigrés, or pardon my French because it's horrible, or les émigrés, is because a lot of the French nobility migrated out of France during the Reign of Terror, and they brought their yo-yos with them. Now, here are some examples of some of these early yo-yos, and I want to point out this one is a yo-yo made out of 2 coins. It's dated in the, I think, historical information.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope everybody's having a good night. I know things could be better here. Please keep an eye out later for the actual content to be released. We're going to do our trivia contest here, and sorry, trying to get that. We're going to do our trivia contest, and hopefully it runs the best we can. The guillotine is a great place for IT guys. So for everybody, let's go ahead and log into the trivia contest for those that have not. And don't worry, Rick, you can take your time. We will give you the 2 minutes. And no, Ben, you're good. It's not just you. I appreciate the thought, though. So let's see how many of you guys have signed in so far. We got 6 out of 20. Oh, nice. Nice. Well, Rick, hurry up and get home. I'll give you another minute and a half here, and I'll give everybody another minute and a half to get signed in before we start rolling with this. So who all here is going to nationals? Throw it in the comments while I wait for others to jump into the stream. And yes, the segment did restart. I'm not sure why it was set to restart. I run the files as long as they go. So I'm not sure why it was like that. It was strange, Tim. I agree. That's okay. It is all good. We will have a unchoppy, fully put together episode here for you guys tomorrow. I'll get it out tomorrow, and everybody can enjoy without the skipping and the choppiness behind it. I still have 6 out of 20. So let's see. Let's see here. No one else has joined in yet. Also, how's everybody doing tonight?
Picture or painting of Louis XVII was.
What the heck? What the hey diddle diddle? Okay, we are still waiting on a few people to sign in to get going here. We still have 6 out of 20. So let's see who else is on here. Let's see live. See. Do we have anybody else joining in? Still at 6 out of 20. Let's see, have we gotten any more signed in, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see. Oh, we still have 6 out of 20. So, 7 out of 20, there we go. Was that you, Rick? Let's see. I can't see exactly who's playing yet until we start. So, we got 7 out of 20. Hoping we can get at least one more, and we can get going here. Give him another 30 seconds for anybody else that hasn't jumped in yet.
With them. Now,
let's see. Okay. Well, looks like 7 is all we might be getting tonight, and that is okay. So, let's jump into it. Start the countdown. Boom. Question number 1. How many proof of purchase coupons did it take to receive a Donut Zero Yo-Yo by Duncan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 plus 99 cents. And let's see who answered those correctly. Oh, wait. Sorry, very quickly. The correct answer is 3. You picked C. You're doing good. You're doing darn good. Oh, and looks like John Marshall is in first. Rick Rentz second. The Simcoe in third. And RC Yo-Yos in fourth. Ooh, it could be getting very close. You know how this goes, ladies and gentlemen, and that is everything can change with one question. And just so you know, I just upped the time to 30 seconds a question. I apologize for the 15 seconds. Here we go. In a famous painting from the 1970s, what depicted a child with a yo-yo? Who was the child? And if you ask me to say those numbers at the end, I'm not going to, because truth be told, I can't read them right now. You got 10 seconds left. 33 points still to gain. Oh, we're getting those answers in. Well, looks like people are getting split across the board. Very interesting. Okay, the time has run out. And the correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. Okay, let's see what that did to our rankings. Oh, the Simcoe jumped up 77 points. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Rick Rentz is hanging on to a close second there. Oof. And nothing for John M. But Uncle Benji gains 80 points, coming in fourth. RC Yo-Yos, I know you had that. Come on, I believe in you. Okay, let's go to question number 3. What year did Wilf Sheely Jr. start the Festival Yo-Yo Company? I really hope I said that correct. If not, please let me know in the comments. A, 1955. B, 1960. C, 1965. D, 1970. E, 1975. Get those votes in. Anything can happen. It's anybody's game. It's only question 3. Only takes one really good question to throw everybody else off the train. Let's see what the correct answer was. And the correct answer was 1965. And who is in first? Oh, John Marshall jumps back in first. Simcoe in second and Rick Rentz in third. RC Yo-Yos is coming up. 74 points on that. Not bad. Still anybody's game. Very close scores. Very close scores. Let's go to question number 4. What famous yo-yo trick is associated with France? And this is why we have Lucky on the show to pronounce these things, because I'm not good at that. You got about 10 seconds left. You better hurry up and answer. Oh, 5 seconds left. Oh my goodness. And that is the end of that question. Let's see what the correct answer was. And the correct answer is the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Let's see who all got that correct. Ooh, a lot of points just went up on the board. Good job, guys. Very good job. Very good job. Okay, we're going to go into our last questions. Anybody's game, still very close in points. Let's see who gets it. The guillotine chopped off the heads of many nobles in France that liked to play the yo-yo during the Regime of Terror. Who designed the guillotine? Oh, this is a kind of trivia that everybody should know. Not just for yo-yo talk, but for casual dinner conversations, for public picnics, for random conversations you develop in the library. Something. Anything. Okay, let's see what that correct answer was. It is Dr. Anton Lewis. And let's see how that changed up the game. Okay, ready? Let's finish the trivia game. Oh, Rick Rentz in third. The Simcoe in second. John Marshall takes it. Congratulations, John. Good man. Good man. 256 points. That is absolutely impressive, to say the least. Well, congratulations, everybody. I'm going to run the last little bit of the show here. So hopefully if everything cooperates with me, you can enjoy the last few minutes. And thank you all for tuning in and sticking around with me. Like I said, keep an eye out tomorrow, and I will have that full content that was created for us for viewing without all the choppiness.
Okay, congratulations to whoever